You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for joining us on Ace Country Radio, and we're also streaming at KPVM.TV. We're also on your Roku devices. It is Tuesday, April 28th. In our top story, a suspected drug overdose in a Pahrump school. 2 people are now arrested. The substances included methamphetamine and cannabis. Samantha Roberts reports.
The Daily Arrest Report is brought to you by Michelle Nelson for District Attorney, fighting for safer communities, standing up for victims, and working to end the revolving door in our justice system. Paid for by the committee to elect Michelle Nelson. An 18-year-old was hospitalized after a suspected overdose at Pahrump Valley High School Monday, leading to 2 related drug arrests in Pahrump. Deputies with the Nye County Sheriff's Office were called to the school just before 12:40 p.m. after staff reported the teen was going in and out of consciousness in the nurse's office. The student was taken to Desert View Hospital for treatment. Investigators say the teen had used a Big Chief THC vape pen, which later tested presumptively positive for THC. The device was reportedly obtained from an adult identified as Daniel Young, also known as Danny, who allegedly provided the vape pens as partial payment for work. Authorities tracked Young to a nearby residence where they conducted surveillance before making contact. During the investigation, deputies say they found multiple boxes of THC vape pens inside Young's vehicle, along with about 9 grams of methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia. Young was arrested and booked into the Nye County Detention Center. He faces charges including contributing to the delinquency of a minor, providing marijuana to a person under 21, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Later that evening, detectives served a search warrant at the same residence as part of the ongoing investigation. 2 people were contacted outside the home, including Valerie Rogers. During the search, investigators say they found methamphetamine and a purse containing multiple sealed Big Chief THC vape cartridges and pens. Rogers reportedly claimed ownership of the purse and the THC products. Detectives say the methamphetamine, about 2.68 grams, was found in a jacket next to the purse. Based on the circumstances, investigators determined the drugs were in Rogers' possession. Rogers was arrested and booked into the Nye County Detention Center. She faces charges including possession of a controlled substance and possession of more than 1/8 ounce of concentrated cannabis.
D.C. is hosting a state visit from across the pond as England's King Charles and his wife, Queen Camilla, arrive in Washington, D.C. And today, on this momentous occasion on Capitol Hill, there is a white tie dinner, and it's a 4-day trip for that royal couple following today and additional pomps and circumstance. We go now to Virginia and we get the latest report.
It was a historic afternoon on Tuesday when King Charles III addressed the United States Congress. He was just the 2nd British monarch to do this after his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, addressed Congress in 1991. Our sister network, Real America's Voice, had the coverage.
Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of Congress, representatives of the American people across all states, territories, cities, and communities. I would like, if I may, to take this opportunity to express my particular gratitude to you all for the great honor of addressing this joint meeting of Congress. Now, as you may know, when I address my own Parliament at Westminster, we still follow an age-old tradition and take a member of Parliament hostage, holding him or her at Buckingham Palace until I am safely returned. These days, we look after our guests rather well, to the point that they often do not want to leave. Today, thousands of U.S. service personnel, defense officials and their families are stationed in the United Kingdom, as British personnel serve with equal pride across 30 American states. And so to the United States of America, on your 250th birthday, let our two countries rededicate ourselves to each other in the selfless service of our peoples and of all the peoples of the world. God bless the United States, and God bless the United Kingdom.
In more political news, the Trump administration terminates current members of the National Science Board. It was established back in the 1950s. News 25's Chris Palermo has our story.
President Donald Trump's National Science Board is now history. The administration fired them on Monday. It consisted of more than 20 members and was established in 1950 to advise the president and Congress on policies about science and engineering. The members were appointed to 6-year terms. This, according to Reuters News. Gill, who works at the Information Sciences Institute of Southern California, said, yes, all 22 current members of the National Science Board were terminated on Friday, effective immediately. No reason was given. The majority of the board members were academics. Stassen works at Vanderbilt University, said seeing similar actions by the administration across the federal government, and especially with regards to scientific research, it seemed only a matter of time. A White House official said the National Science Foundation's work continues uninterrupted. The White House also said that authorities given to the board by Congress when the board was created may need updating.
In today's sports news, one Pahrump freshman is making history one strikeout at a time. Mikey Ruhan knocks it out of the park now.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Vegas Golden Knights fans, you might want to keep those stress balls handy for this one. Shea Theodore scored a slap shot from the high slot with just 51.5 seconds left in overtime, lifting Vegas to a 5-4 win over the Utah Mammoth Monday night after the Knights generously donated a 3-goal lead because sharing is caring. The win ties the first-round playoff series at 2 games apiece, and if this series gets any tighter, we're going to need seatbelts in the stands. Game 5 of the best-of-7 heads back to Las Vegas Wednesday night, where the Knights will try to win in regulation for everyone's blood pressure. Over on the hardwood, the Las Vegas Aces are warming things up. They'll face the Dallas Wings on May 3rd before opening the regular season May 9th against Phoenix, because apparently off-season just means take a quick nap and get back to work. On the diamond, the Las Vegas Aviators are packing their bags as they kick off a 6-game road trip in Tacoma tonight against the Rainiers. First pitch at 6:05, and yes, that's Vegas time because we don't trust any other time zone. And locally, history being made. Pahrump Valley High School freshman J.C. Hayes is dealing, and not just cards. She's now the first player in Nevada this season to reach 200 strikeouts, doing it in style by striking out the side on a full count in the 6th inning against Moapa Valley. 200 strikeouts as a freshman. Meanwhile, the rest of us were just trying to survive algebra. Hayes now holds the top spot in the state, and at this rate, opposing batters might want to start bringing white flags to the plate. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thanks so much, Mikey. And we'll have more health news and other news you can surely use after this break.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, the Amargosa River is named one of the most endangered rivers in the entire country, landing at number 9 on this year's list as a key deadline to protect the desert lifeline approaches.
The Amargosa River has been named one of American River's 10 most endangered rivers of 2026, and federal action in the next 12 months will determine its future. The Department of the Interior must decide whether to protect up to 309,000 acres of public lands from new mining before temporary safeguards expire. If they fail to act, the consequences could be permanent. Flowing mostly underground through Nevada and California, the Amargosa sustains life in one of the hottest, driest regions in North America. Its ancient groundwater feeds the springs of Ash Meadows National Wildlife Refuge and the Amargosa Wild and Scenic River, desert oases that support rare species found nowhere else on Earth, including the endangered Devil's Hole pupfish. The river continues into Death Valley National Park, where groundwater-fed ecosystems depend on its fragile flow. Without this water, these ecosystems collapse. On the doorstep of Ash Meadows, proposed mining would require drilling and potentially pumping of water from open pits, threatening to destabilize the groundwater flows that sustain endangered species and provide local drinking water supplies. For tribal nations, including the Timbisha-Shoshone tribe, this landscape is sacred homeland. For rural communities in Nevada and California, it is their primary water source. A bipartisan coalition of tribes, local governments, conservation organizations, and thousands of residents is calling for lasting protection. That protection begins with finalizing the mineral withdrawal, but communities across the Amargosa River Basin are also calling on Congress to designate the Ash Meadows National Conservation Area to permanently protect Ash Meadows, Amargosa Valley, and the sovereign lands and sacred waters of the Timbisha-Shoshone tribe. This is a moment for federal leadership. Temporary protections buy time, but durable conservation protections must follow to ensure groundwater, wildlife, and communities remain secure for generations to come. The Amargosa River may flow quietly beneath the desert floor, but what happens here will echo far beyond the Mojave.
In today's health news, April marks Alcohol Awareness Month. And as more people look to cut back on drinking alcohol, mocktails are becoming a very popular option.
Mocktails are simply non-alcoholic versions of alcohol. So they're there to mimic the flavor, the consistency, the experience even, but they don't have the booze. So they're a great alternative if you want that experience, but you don't want to have the alcohol consumption with it.
Cleveland Clinic registered dietitian Christian Kirkpatrick says alcohol can take a real toll on the body, from weight gain to increasing the risk of certain diseases. With that in mind, choose a mocktail can be a healthier option overall. But like anything we eat or drink, Kirkpatrick says it's important to pay attention to the ingredients. Mocktails can include adjectives like caffeine, sugar, and artificial sweeteners. Whether you're out on the town or at home, Kirkpatrick says simple swaps can make your next mocktail healthier.
If it's got simple syrup, seeing if you can replace that for actual fresh juice. Are there any kind of herbs or roots or spices that can be included in the mocktail? Ginseng would be an example. Ginger would be an example that we know has a functional component that can actually help with digestion. Adding cinnamon to something can help with blood sugar management. So where can you get that benefit without having all the simple syrups, all the sugars, all the additives?
And when it comes to mocktails, experts say that presentation matters. So using a cocktail glass or adding garnishes like those delicious looking drinks we just saw can help give you the same experience without missing the booze. News 25 will be right back. Cheers.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, Valley Electric Association sends outage text notifications whenever your location is affected by an outage. And to ensure that you're receiving those notices, please make sure that your main phone number on your account is your cell phone. You can do this by logging into Smart Hub or by calling 775-727-5312 and speaking with VEA Member Services.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Valley Electric offers outage text notifications so you don't have to be left in the dark. Valley Electric is using text notifications to keep you informed of power outages. We'll send updates when there's an outage in your area, when crews have been dispatched, and when your power is restored. Our top priority is to keep you connected. If your power hasn't been restored after the outage, please check your main breaker and reply so we know that your location still requires attention. Getting these updates has never been easier. To ensure that you receive these important notifications, please verify that the primary phone number associated with your electric account is a cell phone number. Additionally, outage notifications may take up to half an hour to be sent after the outage begins. During this time, please continue to report outages as it can help find the cause and the location of the issue. Please be aware that Valley Electric will never use the outage phone number for marketing purposes or payment requests. With Valley Electric's outage text notifications, you'll always be just a message away from the latest updates, keeping you informed every step of the way.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's take a look outside through our Lerner and Rowe WeatherCam at the current weather conditions. It is breezy and balmy in the mid-70s with scattered clouds, and that wind is whipping through. What's next in weather?
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Time to take a look now at our current weather conditions here in Pahrump, in Las Vegas, and throughout the Silver State. Death Valley's high today, only 86 degrees. Then they drop down to 60 overnight in the area. Las Vegas tops out at only 76. It's comfortable, but it'll be chilly overnight as we drop down to 57. Amargosa's high, 77, then dropping down to the mid-40s. Beatty tops out at 71, then drops down to 47. Goldfield's high, 59, then dropping down to a chilly 35 degrees. Tonopah tops out at only 57 today, then drops down to the low 30s. Carson City's high today, only 63 degrees. Then they drop down to the upper 30s overnight. And the near weather twins of Fallon and Fernley have highs in the mid-60s, then drop down to the mid to upper 30s overnight. And here in Pahrump, it's currently 73 degrees. Our high was only 75 with winds out of the south at 6 miles per hour. Humidity is low at 16%. Sunrise was at 5:54 a.m. And tonight we can expect an overnight low of only 49 degrees. It'll be a chilly one with winds out of the east at 7 miles per hour. Humidity increases a bit to 25%. Sunset will be at 7:28 p.m. And looking ahead to our 7-day forecast, Wednesday will warm up a bit with a high of 80, then drop down to the low 50s overnight, and those temps will gradually increase as we work through the week, with highs in the low to mid, then upper 80s as we approach the weekend, with those overnight lows increasing from the upper 50s to mid 60s. And the beginning of our work week, it's a bit of a roller coaster. Those temps drop again by Monday to the upper 70s. Then by this time next week, we'll be back around this temperature of the low 70s for the high. So keep that jacket handy. Well, I have the pleasure of inviting you to another College of Southern Nevada event. It is my other job, and I'm happy to say that on behalf of the Communication Department, we're hosting our Spring Public Speaking Festival on Friday, May 8th, and you are invited to attend as a viewing public member at the final rounds at 5 p.m. on the West Charleston campus in Building K, Room 101. We'll have our best and brightest students giving their informative or persuasive speeches, and it's a fun time had by all. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unat Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the air next newscast and at the Public Speaking Festival Friday, May 8th. Good night.